Thank you very much, everybody. So I just did an interview in the most beautiful barn I've ever seen. Ken, it was a beauty, but it was raining. And it was with a NBC fake news. And because it was raining, I got a little bit angry at them. I was not happy with them. But we had a good time. As president, I fought for the American farmer like no one has ever fought before. Nobody's like, I'm up here today. I don't need this. I got elected. I don't have. What the hell do I have to be here for? I got elected. I'm here because I like the farmer. I mean, when you think about it, I guess there's a lot of truth to that, right? I could be home right now in the beautiful White House, enjoying watching somebody else on television talking. I mean, they actually have the Democrats a restriction that if you get caught fixing your tractor, they bring you to jail. Do you know that? Do you know that? I pardoned a man last week who was sentenced to 7 years in jail because he got caught fixing his car or his truck. I said, I like to always say, what did he do? Sir, he was fixing his truck. I said, how long is he getting? 7 years. I said, say it again. It's the first time I've ever heard like 2 weeks ago. I gave him a pardon because he had to go to jail because he was fixing his tractor or his truck. I repealed the Biden-era EPA little. Just a crazy waters of the United States rule. It sounds so nice. It's the worst rule that you've ever had. Waters of the... How could it be nicer? What a beautiful title. It was like taking your land away from you. It was horrible, and I totally repealed it. And there are some people, you know, when I did that repeal, I had a lot of farmers and contractors, builders, house builders in my office. And I announced the repeal in front of them. I signed it. And these are tough guys. In fact, they look like him, just smaller. And who isn't smaller? I think everybody's smaller. But no, they look like Joe. And they were crying. Half of them were crying. You remember that? Half of them were crying. They said, why are you crying? What's the big deal? He said, you gave us back our life. They actually had their life taken away. They couldn't touch their land. If they even touched it, they were in violation. They also would go to jail. They rigged the election. When I turn, the election was totally rigged. It was a rigged election just like they're rigging the election right now. It looks like in California. Can you imagine? It's 4 days and they still aren't even close to telling you who won. You know why? Because they're rigging the election. That's why. 4 days. You know, in Spain, they had an election. I'm not a big fan of Spain, to be honest with you. It's gone very far left. But they had an election. All the votes were in similar size to the state of California, a little larger actually, and every vote was in by 10 o'clock in the evening. It counted. You're going to be waiting weeks to get these votes. It's corrupt. Somebody said it's incompetent. I said no, just the opposite. It's unbelievably competent if you happen to be a Democrat politician. Because with their policies, the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And when you look at an election, not even relatively a big election for one state, for one city, for Los Angeles, they're nowhere close to counting the votes. But you look at what's happening, it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And the people that were supposed to win, bad things are happening. It's a crooked state. We have crooked third world elections in a lot of our states. I just want to thank you for your support. Thank you all.